Saturday to you and me and John, who are recording it now. But obviously it will be in the past tense to the rest of the world when they hear it. But nevertheless, now that we've completely screwed with people's minds, if you get out that way, let me know. I'd love to have you stop by and meet the guys from WRFZ, and also Armand, who is, in addition to being a promoter and band member, well, he has his own band and has had for 20 years or so. He also has a record label there, and his big claim to fame is the thing called the House of Guitars, which is obviously a musical store, which is sprung, and we had him on the show a couple of weeks ago. He just has a tremendous operation going there because he works so much with new emerging artists from the area. So if you get out that way, you
might have to go visit him just to go to the House of Guitars.
Oh, yes, believe me, it would be worth your while. He tells me that they've got a virtual museum there with all kinds, I don't know, Elvis Presley's pants or something, and they've got guitars and souvenirs from all other artists that have visited there at one time or another. So it's definitely be worth your while if you get out in that area. Be happy to put you in touch with him. Armand and his son Eric are really cool, and they've been great with us. Great thing there. But we're here to talk about you, and now, you said you're playing in and around upstate New York. Of course, the winter slows you down. Do you have anything planned for the summer?
Well, I'm working on getting some dates, further up by Saranac Lake and in the Adirondacks, as well as I'm trying to branch out in, some of the other neighboring states, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Vermont. But, they're kind of, it's an unknown market to me, so I'm doing some research trying to find, various places in those states that host, single guitar playing musicians. And then hopefully I'll be able to book some dates in different areas doing that so that
absolutely
I can get my music out there a little more widely.
Breaking into new markets, especially when you're going out of state into strange areas, can be a bit challenging. It's a tough business out there. John Bon Jovial, speaking of tough businesses, you've got something you'd like to toss in here.
Well, sure. In a legendary fashion, I would like to ask Karen a question. Karen, you mentioned the guitar players just a second ago, which is what I wanted to ask you about. Who's playing guitar on Whiskey in the Bottle? Because I tell you what, I'm listening to that, and I'm thinking of some of this, real traditional, Western swing guitar. Almost like a danceable guitar that I'm hearing in this song, and really, really very nice. Who's playing the guitar on that cut?
John, that is Scott Sawyer. He's from North Carolina, and he is a Grammy-nominated jazz guitarist who has traveled and played all around the world. And it was so fun because I wrote that song just as a basic, country sad song, and when we got in the studio, he just started playing this jazzed up version of it, and that was it. It's beautiful. It's so amazing. He just played that. I mean, it was just like, this is what I think I'm going to do, and it was totally just a jam out kind of thing, and it came out unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh no, that was it. Very nice. I mean, the whole production of the song. I was listening to because that, as David would tell you, a lot of my background, in addition to being on the air and programming and things of that nature, is that I do a lot of engineering, and so I will listen to the production values of a song probably more so than David will, and so these are little things that I pick up on. And, he's getting into that jazz country swing guitar, and it's like, wow, where did that come from? That's really cool.
Yeah. He's just amazing. What an amazing guitarist.
Well, you're very fortunate to have him on your side.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why if I turn the microphone on, you'll hear me. I wondered why nobody was paying attention to what I was saying. It's been one of those days, folks. Anyway, I remember when you shared that song with us back in November, and I remember remarking to you that it has really transformed into a very effective song because it just sort of carries you away. I remember listening to it the first time and sitting there thinking, wow, close my eyes, lean back, and order another scotch and soda or something. It's just it's the type of song that reaches that deeply inside you. But speaking of reaching, and I guess this is a good time to make the transition. Speaking of reaching deeply inside you, your new release, when is this going to be released, Karen?
Well, as soon as you debut it, I made sure that I had it uploaded to CD Baby so that when people hear it, if they want to purchase it, they can. But it hasn't been uploaded to Reverb Nation or any of the other platforms yet, so no one has gotten a chance to hear it yet until after your show, and then it will be up and played, and people will start hearing it.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, this song, as I mentioned earlier, alluded to the fact this is not your average pop country song. This song, when I first heard it, it kind of slapped me side of the head and made me take notice. This song is probably the deepest, darkest thing I have heard since Johnny Cash's "I Hurt Myself." This is really a gut cruncher, don't you think, John?
Oh, yeah. I was quite taken with it, Karen. A bit of a departure for you. And I've listened to this song probably a half dozen times, and I keep picking up on things with each passing play. And what was going through your head? Tell us about that.
Well, I'm a nurse practitioner by trade, and so in my practice, I've seen a lot of addiction. Plus, my dad was an alcoholic. I'll share that with everyone. I'm not ashamed to share it. I think that addiction touches everyone in some way, whether it's personally or in a family member or a friend. I was doing some research on statistics, and I only have from 2011, there were 20.6 million people in the U.S. with some kind of an addiction, and that's probably at least doubled by now. So I wanted to write a song about the pain of addiction, where you feel like you need something so badly that you're going to die without it, and write a song about that so that people could feel that kind of anguish that someone who's in that situation feels, because I know there's also a lot of judgment around addiction where people say, well, they have a choice, they can choose not to use that substance or not to drink or not smoke, but it's not that simple. It's a very, very painful, agonizing kind of situation, and I just wanted people to kind of know how it feels, and so I wrote it about addiction. It's more about being addicted to a destructive relationship, but I think I got the emotion across with the song. You captured the emotion very effectively. We're going to share it with the audience right now. Karen Caruso, thank you so much, not only for coming back and sharing with us, but for giving us the pleasure and honor of debuting your new release. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be on the market probably this weekend. If not, it'll be by the first of next week. You'll be able to find this online. This is Karen Caruso. It's called Addict's Ransom.
How do you feel when you feel nothing? The craving commands you and you have to obey. I always fail to resist longing for your kiss, and there's only one thing that'll make it go away. I need a shot of you like an addict needs a fix. My body aches for you, you're my heroine. Nothing else can take away the pain, but there's a price you pay. it's driving me insane. Your love snakes into my blood, and I feel like me again. And the pain melts away. But there's a price you pay, an addict's ransom. 'Cause the high, it's the only way. Feed me, heal me, burn me, fill me, nail me to this lover's cross again. There's a price you pay, an addict's ransom. 'Cause the high doesn't stay. Oh, the high you'll pay.
That was deep. That's a deep, dark track. She pours a lot of emotion into it. Karen Caruso, ladies and gentlemen. That's Addict's Ransom. And that about wraps it up for us this week. John Bon Jovial, take us home.
We are out of here. Thank you, David. Be sure to join us next week here at the David Bowers Awards, Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern on WRFZ-FM 106.3, Rochester Free Radio in Rochester, New York, and on Blog Talk Radio Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and 6 p.m. Greenwich time for more great indie music and talk with the artists that make it happen. So until next week, for the David Bowers, Nick the Geek, I am your trusty, legendary sidekick, John Bon Jovial, saying thank you very much for joining us this week, and we will see you next week right here on the David Bowers Awards.